Hey guys, I'm Angela, you're watching Hobby Night. It's October, and the first two 9th edition codexes are here. I went ahead and rushed out to make sure that I could get my hands on the two codexes day one so that we could take a look at them and go over the books in two parts. First, we're going to go ahead and look at the fluff and lore sections of the books, and then of course we're going to take a look at the rules and the data sheets. And joining me today so that we can have a better discussion about it will be my husband John. So let's go ahead and get right into the Adeptus Astartes book. All right guys, we have the codexes here, and joining me is John, my husband. Say hello.
Hello.
Excellent. And we are going to go ahead and take a look. We're actually going to start with the Necron Codex. I know in the intro I said we would start with the Space Marine, but after discussing it, we're going to go ahead and start with this beautiful green book. So we're going to pull this boy away and start taking a look through this codex.
Yes. Now, one thing we have to be careful of, and I thought about it just as we opened it, is I was like, do not show the open back cover. I haven't put the code into the app yet.
Oh yes, no, we'll definitely skip that.
Yes, so we are going to split this, to my understanding, into two parts.
Yes, we're gonna first sort of look at the artwork and some of the lore stuff a little bit, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and look at the rules, and then I figured after that we'll switch to the Space Marine Codex.
Yes, absolutely. So we can see in the table of contents, we have pretty much the not rewritten, backstory for the Necrons, because that really happened back in like 6th or 7th edition.
That's true.
But this book is something of it's an overhaul from a rules perspective, that much is for sure.
100%, and there are definitely some tasty things in here. And just look at this art. Like, I do appreciate all of the new artwork that they have made for all the Necron books and everything like that. Like, we've got all the cool new like Doomstalkers and stuff showing up.
That's a reanimator.
Oh, I'm sorry, sorry, you're right. That is the reanimator. We've got the reanimator showing up and stuff. Like, it's just all really gorgeous. And I love the black, silver, green, like, combo of art. It just ends up looking amazing.
And here we see the battle of the two armies that used to really suck at melee, and one doesn't suck at melee anymore.
Yeah, that will be very interesting to see. Like, I'm curious because of all the buffs that we've seen for the Necrons, whether or not, like, randomly Tau are going to have melee units in there or something, because they've just seemed to do a really big emphasis on melee across the board. I mean, we'll see that in the Space Marine too.
Yes, and here we can see details on the technology of the Necrotier.
Beautiful.
More lore about
their war zones that they're participating in.
Now, I remember seeing that this was actually a big deal. This piece of art.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, because a dolmen gate has been referenced a number of times in the lore over the years. But basically, a dolmen gate is something kind of like the webway.
Okay.
But it's the Necrons are forcing the webway to do what they want, and it really doesn't want to.
Interesting.
Or something like that. It's their way of like drilling through the universe.
Okay, that's cool. Is that like part of their teleportation technology?
Kind of. I think it's a little bit more limited than that. I think they have to I think it is sort of only where the webway goes.
Got it, okay.
Or something like that. I think there's a network of some kind.
Nice.
Lore about the actual tomb worlds themselves. We'll try to counter the glare as much as we can.
Indeed. Got a nice awakening map of the Empire as it rises.
How convenient there's nothing near Terra yet.
Of course, yet. I am curious with the return of the Void Dragon, what lore or like information we're going to end up getting about like Mars and Terra and the shard that's, supposedly there.
I mean, there is one. We know there is.
Yeah, no, we definitely know there is one because of Mechanicum.
Yeah, now we think it's actually it's not a shard. We think it might be like a chunk of the thing or the majority of it. Right,
which would be really cool, which, is a case of like with Zerakin back now and with one of the pieces of the Void Dragon in tow, like, is he heading towards Mars?
And now we see, this is going over just the hierarchy of the Necrons and their society. And then we actually get into the individual dynasties themselves. This is an older piece of art, but I love this one.
Is it because it also has Eldar in it?
It's because it has Biel-Tan in it.
That's That's specifically what I meant. Yes. Hey, that's what you normally run, right?
Yes, I do.
Are you planning, now that we've got this new book, and we can go into a little bit more detail in this, like when we start looking at the rules, but as we're going through this lore and everything, are you planning on running one of the, named dynasties, or are you going to play around with the make your own? Because
I'm playing around with make. I mean, I'm going to do all of it because I have a custom paint job, so I can run whatever I want.
That is true. That is the benefit of the custom paint jobs. That's one of the nice things about the hobby nights as well. Lots of lore to look at.
This is how all the Satan fell.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool.
So if you want to know how the Necrons got them. And then we have the new bad boy himself.
The return of the Silent King.
The man who is here to save us all from the Tyrannid threat.
Yes, and I have picked up his mini, and he is...
Oh, so you're painting that for the channel?
Oh... No. No. Probably not necessarily for the channel, but I definitely want to paint him up because he's going to look spectacular, and that kit is just so cool.
Oh, absolutely. I love this art of Trazen because I'm pretty sure they traced a picture of Namor for this piece of art.
There is a picture of Namor where he's real casual with his legs spread.
Yeah, and he's got his package out and he's holding a trident.
Is that the one where he
he's welcoming Sue Storm into the court? Yes.
I love that one.
Yes, of course you do.
I really, really do. I like
the newest
this.
From the new remake from the Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, no, that one's really cool. Okay, so one of the things, this art is all great and everything in the books and stuff, but I actually really like seeing the sort of iconography or other random symbolism and graphic designy things that they do for it.
They had to do it for these guys because they all look the same.
Yeah, that's very valid. This is start talking about various color schemes and stuff too.
Yes,
nice.
And monoliths, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
The Doom Croissants. Always beautiful. We have the new Ophidian Destroyers, who just look like the old Wraiths, and the new Wraiths had a baby.
Or no, the old Wraiths and the new Destroyers had a baby.
All of the above, really.
It's true. I really like the Chonky Boy. I know he may not. I don't know how great he is, but I do love just how bulky he is.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
is he coming out?
I'm actually really hoping we're gonna get the announcement for the Shards soon, because that is something that is
Halloween,
more
maybe?
maybe. All right.
And we are on to the rules.
Indeed. All right, and now it is time to start looking at all of the new rules for the Necrons. How are we going to go ahead and do this?
So I think we're just going to go about it in the order that the Codex is put together, because thankfully Games Workshop, after 30 years of this game, have learned how to actually assemble a book.
Hooray! Glory be to James Workshop and his ability to do that now.
Yes, thank you, James Workshop. So once again, we have the basic rules of the detachments for the Necrons, along with an overview of the Royal Court. So this is relatively new.
I was going to say, I don't recognize that from the old Codex.
And I think we're going to see that a lot more in some of the newer codexes across the game now. Basically, what that describes is, if you have an overlord, they have to be your warlord.
Okay.
Basically, it's a hierarchy of warlords that says, if you have the Silent King, he has to be the warlord.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you got a Pharaon, they have to be. If you don't have a Pharaon, it's got to be the warlord. You don't have a warlord, then it's got to be an overlord.
Okay.
If you have a Pharaon, then it's got to be the overlord. If you don't have an overlord, then it goes to a lord.
Got it. Okay. That makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, there is, especially with the Necrons, because there is a little bit more of a specific hierarchy of who's in control based on just their lore. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And here we have the dynastic codes for all 6 of the named dynasties. All of them have, I think pretty much all of them have been buffed or changed / added to since last edition. Now, the one thing they get over the Make Your Owns, which are on the next page here, is that The Necrons have their new command protocol rule.
Right.
And the named dynasties have the advantage of certain command protocols.
They get to use both.
They
correct?
get to use basically double the benefit.
Right.
However, there is something to be said for taking a make your own dynasty. Especially depending on the direction you go. I will say this, there is not like a super broken one, I think, yet. You know, it's sort of not like when 8th edition Marines came out.
Right.
And we all looked at the Iron Hands and went, what?
Yeah, and went, excuse me?
Yeah, but I like how focused it is because, like, for example, Warriors and the Silver Tide lists don't necessarily look that good out of hand.
Uh-huh.
But then you look and you go, oh, wait, there's characters that buff core.
Right.
There's stratagems that buff core.
Yes.
There's auras that only affect core. And suddenly those warriors, but more importantly, some of your elite core units, they start to get nasty.
They really do. They really do. And I know that, like, this particular one, for the ancient, or for the Circumstances of Awakening, this Relentless Expansion one, I was looking at this.
Yep.
This is crazy. Like 6 inches, like a normal move up to 6 inches before the game even begins.
Can you imagine if you're an assault army, like a Necron assault army?
Which is weird to say, by the way. Like,
God, now.
Now, I mean, like, it's obviously that's what they're trying to push towards, is like kind of leaving
like
them
a
a little bit more assault. But they used to not be melee at all.
No, but like a Wraith or Destroyer force with that.
Oh my God, right?
I mean, I think it's good for a shooting army even, because you could honestly argue, you know, any shooting army getting a 6-inch move before the battle,
right?
That then may mean in their turn they don't have to move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is, especially since I know, at least in the Space Marine Codex, I imagine there's some in this where, like, if you remain stationary, you get some extra benefits of, like, some things. So, like, that is very interesting that you could end up doing that, synergize it well, and do some neat things.
Absolutely. I don't think there's quite as many as the Space Marines, but
oh, I'm sure. I mean, the Space Marines have so much. Exactly.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Just going through all of the stratagems they have available.
I think it's interesting, and I don't know if, like, I assume it's just to help organize and help you identify what the stratagems are supposed to be used for, or when they may be used for. But yeah, the color coding is interesting because I don't remember them doing that in 8th edition, and I can't imagine they did it in any previous editions. So but I like it. It does really help organize the book, and the fact that I think there's like a glossary in the back this time.
There is, yes.
Which, holy cow.
Yeah. So that, to my understanding, is all that GW has said, is that they did the color coding to
to help organize.
Yeah, because my original thought too was like, oh, are they going to limit it so you can only use like X
that's what I thought, because there's some that are like, oh yeah, this is like an epic, like I can't, what is it called? They're like epic. There's battle tactic stratagems. There's the war gear stratagems. There's the strategic ploy stratagems. But then there's like the epic,
like an epic deeds stratagem.
Epic deeds, yeah, epic deeds stratagem, and I was like thinking maybe those were the ones that they were going to be like limiting them, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it, which is good. I actually don't think they should.
So, next up we have some of the customization that the Necrons have available to them, and it really comes through their cryptex.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they've really set up so cryptex cannot be the warlord most of the time.
Okay.
Because if you look at it, like that entire thing with the court, that was all non-cryptech characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not considered lords even, right?
No, they're not. I think they might be nobles. I'll have to double check that. But one of the things that is interesting here is that all of these guys are very specific to different types of play. I'm actually very fond of the Quantum Orb, despite how not super competitive it is. But the fact that it's basically an old school Void Grenade.
Oh, that's cool.
Void Bomb.
Nice.
I very much enjoy. So I think there's some cool buffs and tricks and surprises you can definitely pull out with all that. And most of them are reliable.
Good. That's good. I do like that they've added a little bit more reliability into the game with like more things doing plus a flat number, or just, you know, being better.
I will admit that the warlord traits don't move me.
Yeah, I was looking through these a little bit, and nothing really struck me as being super amazing either. I mean, like, obviously, I think Zarakin's is still pretty good, but of course it is. It's
the new one.
He's the new one, and he's the Silent King. His should be the best. But other than that, like, nothing seemed super amazing.
Yeah, it's almost all warlord buffs themselves, which are good, but I mean, it's just. I think we are now looking at the age of warlord traits being a 6-inch. Everybody gains +1 strength or something is probably gone.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems that way a little bit.
Relics, not a whole lot to talk about here to my memory. I think there's some fun things in here. The Tachyon arrow, while not exactly a good weapon, I am highly amused by a strength 16 damage 6 weapon.
Oh, I know, right? That's insane.
I just want it for the troll.
Yeah.
For the like, hello, walk
Didn't
up.
you
I think I one-shotted your chaos sorcerer.
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say I thought you killed something. With
it wasn't with the relic one. It was with the normal one, but I rolled 6 damage, and so it sniped him off.
Yeah, it was upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset.
So excellent. The powers of the Satan are nasty. They are nasty, nasty, nasty.
I mean, they should be, right? They're Satan. They're gods.
Like, look at this, the Void Dragon one. Select an enemy unit within 18 inches and visible. Doesn't have to be the closest, just visible and within 1.5 feet.
Okay.
You cannot select, basically you can't select characters unless they have the,
right, unless they're,
rule. Yeah. On a 2+, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. Or if it's a vehicle, D6.
Dang.
And until the next turn, if the unit's a vehicle, it halves number of wounds for its damage table. On a 2+, just automatically, no other test.
That is insane.
That is D6 damage on a vehicle sniped from the Void Dragon.
I mean, okay, it makes sense that he's going after vehicles, right?
Yes.
Because I love the like injection of lore into the rules on a mechanical sense. It's so good. This is why I like 40k.
And then you have like the Nightbringer, select an enemy unit within 9 inches.
Okay.
Roll 3d6. For each 4+, you can do D3 mortal wounds. So we can do 3 D3 mortal wounds.
Dang.
And then Cosmic Insanity is pretty good, but even these other ones are good.
Nice.
Because there is a stratagem to switch them out too.
Oh yeah.
So you can start with one of them, have like a long range one that you want, just be charging that shard up into there.
Right.
And then, it's the beginning of round 2 or 3, you need like, what is it? The Cosmic Fire where you hit everything within 9 inches.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. So 4+ D3 mortal wounds.
And if it's a Tesseract Volt, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna run a Tesseract Volt, but like still a flat 3 mortal wounds output's still good. So
those are looking great. And now we have the secondary objectives. So this and the Space Marine Codex are the first new secondaries we have.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, score 3 victory points at the end of the battle for each enemy unit that was destroyed by a noble. It's not bad if you're running like a lot of like score pack destroyers. I think they count as nobles.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I didn't know that.
I have to double check that, like the destroyer lords.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Purge the Vermin. Score 2 victory points at the end of your turn for each table quarter that does not have any enemy units within it. Okay. I don't think that's bad.
No, I don't think so too, especially since oddly the Necrons actually feel very maneuverable now.
They are, and they will tend to deny.
Yep.
The Treasures of Aeons, that's an objective controller. And then we have an action-based one. So, once again, getting more interesting ways to score points.
Yep.
And it's interesting because not all of it is focused towards killing.
Right.
Definitely do not need to kill things to win.
No, and I like looking through both books now, it's definitely, I mean, this game is so much about objectives now. Like more so than ever. And I feel like the extra or the secondary stratagems and stuff sort of lean into that really heavily.
Absolutely. Now we are looking through the Crusade rules now. For the sake of everyone's time, I'm not going to go into it in great detail because honestly, I still need to look through this section in more detail.
Yeah, no, I haven't looked through the Necron Crusade stuff. I've looked through the Space Marine one a bit, And I'm liking what I'm seeing for sure, because I do like the not character creation, but it feels sort of character creating, and I really like that. But it's looking cool.
Yes. Here we have the new protocols. These are basically the rule is before the game, you as a Necron player get to choose which rule will be active in each battle round. And then in each battle round, you have a choice of 2 buffs to have active for your army. It becomes active for basically any unit within, I think it's 6 inches of a noble.
I think so. I think that's what I remember reading.
Yes, within 6
inches
of a Necron character.
Yeah.
Except Catan shards. And then we have the characters themselves.
So, of everything in here, I know you haven't looked through all of them in like super detail, but what thing out of this are you most excited for to just add to the army that wasn't like something you had previously?
Honestly, Catan shards.
Good, awesome.
Like, I am actually very excited to get them built in. I've proxied them in the past, but now that they're actually useful, I'd actually build them now.
Definitely.
Yes, I am excited as well. Also, okay, we're gonna talk about the Reanimator.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'd be remiss if I don't talk about the worst unit in the book. I don't know. It's okay. So I have a theory that there are many units in all of the new codexes that exist for Crusade and not for matched play.
I am actually inclined to agree with you. We discussed this a little bit, obviously prior to us recording, and I definitely think that we are seeing that a little bit, and I think the Reanimator is sort of one of those. Like, it really doesn't feel competitive at all.
So the problem with it, if you don't know, is it's toughness 5, it's 6 wounds, it has a 3+ save, so it's basically 3 plague marines strapped together.
Yep.
With marines getting 2 wounds now.
Yep.
So it's that, it has no invul, and what it does is it can pick 1 unit and give it a +1 on its reanimation rolls.
Right, which
I actually didn't talk about reanimation when we passed it, so I guess I will for a quick moment. For those who don't know, reanimation is now rolled after a unit is shot or attacked. It does not need you to wait till the beginning of your next round, so this means that Necron players actually get to roll for their reanimation protocols. This is good.
Hooray! I'm actually very glad for this. It was silly that you could have units completely wiped out before you could even attempt to make a roll.
True. However, the way that it works now is you roll a number of dice equal to the number of wounds that the models that died had, basically their total number of wounds. So if you had 2 models that were 3 wounds each, then you roll 6 dice.
Correct.
You can then resurrect a number of models for all the dice that roll. Sorry, you roll the dice, and then you collect all the 5 pluses.
Yes.
And then if you have enough 5 pluses to equal the number of wounds on the dead model, you can resurrect it.
Exactly.
I said that poorly. So you roll dice equal to the number of wounds lost, and then for every 5 up, you put it aside, and you use that as a pool to basically buy back dead models.
Exactly.
And once you've rolled, any unused 5 pluses are lost. They don't get carried through.
Correct, yeah. Which is a little bit of a shame.
It is, but it'd be way too much to track.
Oh, absolutely.
There are only 2 ways to get a +1 on those rolls to make it basically a 4+ instead of
the 5+. Right, and the Reanimator is one of them. I don't know what the other one is.
It is a relic item for the Resurrection Orb.
Okay, cool.
That gives a +1 on the 1 unit it is used on.
Okay.
So that is the benefit of the Reanimator, is it can give 1 unit a +1 on that roll.
Yeah.
It will get shot off the board so easily, it will give up kill points, and that will be the problem. My thought is it's there for like your 500 to 1,000 point Crusade skirmish game.
Right.
Where it's not necessarily going to die in 1 round.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. I think the Hexmark Destroyer is a very similar unit. of it's not really going to be able to do a lot in a 2,000 point like competitive match.
No, but I think it's going to be great fun to run as
in
a crusade
500
list.
and put this in a 500 or put this in a kill team.
Oh my god, right? Oh, I hope you can. I hope
so.
you can run him as a kill team
Pretty
unit,
sure.
because that would be awesome.
I'm sure you can.
I would imagine so. I can't imagine that you wouldn't be able to.
And we have some of the MVPs of the Codex. The
Lich
Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you take them with their sword and shield, they basically become 2+ armor, 4+ invul, toughness 5, 2 wounds. They heal a wound every round.
Oh yeah, because like most things have living metal now, right?
If it is more than 1 wound, it regenerates.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
So good.
So those guys are and they are core.
Yes.
So they can get big buffs.
Yes, which is awesome.
So they are
Because the
great.
core thing has been a little limiting for sure.
For Necrons, maybe not for the Marines.
No, it's been a little limiting for the Marines too. Like for example, well, we'll get to it when we get there.
The Dreadnaughts count, so I don't think so.
Well, that is true, which
sadly, I was hoping flayed ones would count.
Are they not core?
No, because in the canon, they're really not part of the army.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah,
Can
they're
you still move
diseased.
them through the monolith?
They are infantry, so I think so.
Okay, cool.
I have to double check that. We have the Scorpec destroyers.
Which I think are pretty, at least visually
they
very
are
cool.
they are one of the MVPs of the book.
Oh, good.
The fact that they are infantry, the fact that they are 3 wounds, they don't have the best survivability, but their kill potential for their points means you have to deal with them.
Yes.
And so I think they are a great unit to. I mean, there's a number of distraction carnifexes in this army, and they are definitely one of them.
Oh no, they have. You used them already again in one of the games that we did.
Yes,
like,
and they did okay.
They did. And I mean, I had to contend with them.
Yeah, because they can die, but they're going to take a decent amount of firepower, and that's firepower that's not going to be going into other things.
Yes.
I think Necrons are very much built around we are going to put a lot of target saturation on the board.
No, I think that is definitely how they are looking as well. I would 100% agree with that.
The Trioxstarker, which I can maybe pronounce, is very similar to what it was previously. It has still the benefit of anything that it makes a ranged attack against. If it hits till the end of the phase, anytime a friendly Necron unit shoots it, they get to reroll hits of 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very good. One of the few ways to get that in the army.
Okay, that's
Actually,
cool.
it might be the only way. So it's one of those things like you put that in there, you combine that with some of the other stuff. This is becoming more and more of a necessity for Necrons.
Got it. Okay. Well, we'll have to pick some up. I don't think we own
And
one of those.
then the big boys.
The big boys, the Satan shards.
Yes. So all 3 of the named guys are good.
Good. Okay.
I think there are arguments on why each one could be better or could be better than the other 2. I think it very much will depend on your meta and what you're fighting. I do think in general, I'm leaning to the Deceiver.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Why is that? Because I honestly would have thought that you would have leaned toward the Void Dragon.
So, Grand Illusion. At the start of the first battle round, you can select up to 3 friendly Necron units, any Necron units. Remove those from the battlefield, then set them up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within your deployment zone. If the mission you are playing uses the Strategic Reserves rule, which every match player game does, you can place any of those units into Strategic Reserves instead. No command points used.
Oh, damn. Okay.
At the start of the first battle round as well. Meaning deployment, everything with objectives, determining secondaries, and determining first turn happen. Then
you get to choose.
You select 3 Necron units and can put them into deep strike or completely move them.
That's great, especially if you have a second turn.
Yeah.
Because you can like hide and like pull some units for safety.
Well, you can deploy for first turn.
Yep.
And then if you don't get it, redeploy entirely.
Exactly. No, that's awesome.
And it used to be in the old one, it was D3 units. And that was the problem, is it was always like, well, we got 1.
Oh,
and now it's 3.
Just made it 3.
And you can put them into reserves.
That's great.
For free.
For free.
So that is any Necron unit. You can put 3 monoliths into I mean, you can put monoliths into deep strike anyway.
You could, but
You could take 3 destroyer units that couldn't normally or would be normally very expensive.
Right.
Put them in the strategic reserve and bring them in off the flank.
Dang.
Or use them to then teleport them in some other way.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's awesome.
So that he has, he's still strength 6. He still punches for 3 damage. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Definitely.
They all have the same survivability.
Good.
And the Nightbringer is your straight kill boy.
That makes sense.
Like, look at his weapon. So he has 6 attacks base, Reaping Sweep. Each time an attack is made with it, make 2 rolls. So he's 12 attacks at strength 7, AP 3.
Good lord.
Yeah. Or at strength 14, he makes an attack with his weapon. Invulnerable saves cannot be taken.
So what you're telling me is don't get my Demon Prince into melee.
Don't get anything into
with
melee.
the Nightbringer.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I feel like that's...
Also, each time, actually even worse, each time this model makes a melee attack that is allocated to an enemy model, it ignores your disgusting resilient.
Okay. I don't like this. I refuse to let you bring it. You're banned from bringing this to a game.
But it is literally the it's like the antithesis of chaos. It's lovely.
That's why I don't like it.
Pitiful. And then we have the Shard of the Void Dragon, who has actual shooting, and it's pretty good.
Yep.
Short range. Most of the same rules. He can eat tanks to heal himself.
Which is great.
Yeah, and they all have their own special powers.
And he is such a tank killer. Keep your tanks away from him.
Absolutely. The Transcendent Catan is not as good.
Oh.
It's unfortunate. It's very difficult to choose which 2 powers you would want because you have to roll for them.
Oh, there's no way to like...
You can choose 1 or roll for 2.
I see.
And you don't get the special named powers that the other Satan get. And it's like,
Oh, okay.
Meh.
Yeah, that's a little
It's
lame.
okay.
But you got 3 named boys who are great.
Oh yeah, yes.
I really like my only complaint. I wish they would redo the minis for the other 2
Yeah.
to like be more grand, like the Void Dragon.
All right. So we have some of the winners of the Codex on these pages, and it is not the Tomb Blades.
Poor Tomb Blades.
So we have the Ophidian Destroyers, who are fast as hell.
Uh-huh.
They reroll hits of 1. 6s get additional hits.
Yep. That's great.
They have a -1 to hit against them in melee.
Mm-hmm.
And they can teleport across the board.
Which is just brutal.
Yeah. Like,
I'm scared of these guys a little bit.
yeah, the Ophidian Claws are not bad. It makes them strength 5. Like, they will tear apart single wound models.
Yep.
Like, these are the bane of the Eldari, or the Guard.
Yep.
Now, we want to talk about killing some Marines, though.
Yeah, is that the Praetorians or the Wraiths?
We're gonna put both of them, really.
Nice.
So, first thing you could do is you could take whip coils on them instead, which is a new thing. In the old edition, whip coils was like when they died, they could make an extra attack.
Uh-huh.
Now, instead, you could take whip coils.
Oh, and you just get to make 2 hit rolls instead of 1.
So if you're fighting 1 wound models, you use those and get 8 attacks each wraith. These things chew through single
goodness.
wounds. Yeah.
I'm very glad that...
Now note, they got nerfed. They are strength 4 now.
Oh,
they were strength 5
they were
before.
strength 5.
Or they were even strength 6, I think, actually.
Yeah, they were strong.
Yeah, it was either strength 6 and toughness 5 or strength 5 and toughness 6 previously. And so you can tell they've gotten nerfed a bit. They're cheaper.
Yeah, I was going to say, they do look cheaper. 5.
And they can still dive in and out of combat.
Okay,
So
that's
good
good.
for that.
That's good.
This is what you use to kill Marines.
The Triarch Praetorians.
Yes. So they base come with just a Rod of the Covenant.
Okay.
It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, -3 AP, 2 damage. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
Oh, and it's one of those types that can shoot and fight.
Yeah,
okay.
and in melee, it's, and they're 3 attacks base.
So
that's 3 attacks, it's strength 5, AP 3, damage 2. They are going to knock some Primaris around.
Right. Oh, and if they take the Void Blade, they get an additional attack. That's kind of neat.
Yes. Well, that's if they want to switch out for a Particle Caster and a Void Blade. You don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, because the pistol's not great.
These guys are... And also, keep in mind, these guys are jump packs.
Yeah, I know. I saw that they had Fly, which
Yeah.
is gross.
So they're gonna get to you.
Man, to be fair, a lot of the Necron stuff can.
Yes. The Annihilation Barge is still not spectacular. It's good that the Twin Tesla got upped, but it's not great. The Doomsday Arc. It's 190 points. Its fly is not what it was.
No, fly is really not what it was.
And I think there is a better option now. Possibly.
Yeah? What do you think the better option is going to be?
We're going to get to it.
All right.
The next page is the Destroyers. The Destroyer weapons were not buffed heavily.
That's a shame.
Like the normal ones weren't changed at all in 8th edition, and they are like 55 points a model now.
Well, they've really pushed the Destroyers into the melee stuff. Like,
yeah, I think this is them supporting an old mini that they would care not to.
That's unfortunate. But it kind of explains why they made so many new ones.
This I've been looking into because of the upcoming video.
Indeed.
That we have. And this, the more I've learned, the more I have gotten interested in this. So,
to be perfectly honest, me too.
So the Doomstalker also has a Doomsday gun. Now, unlike the Doomsday Arc, which has a 36 and 72 inch range, this one has a 24 and a 48.
Okay.
Tables aren't big enough for that to really matter.
No.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Strength
as well.
8 and 10, strength 8 and 10, 2 and 5. It's literally the same gun, other than the range.
Okay.
This one has the Gauss Flare Array, which I do like.
Yeah.
But you're paying a lot of points for it.
That's fair.
Because you can see it's the same toughness. This has 2 more wounds and has quantum shielding.
Okay.
The new quantum shielding.
Is it better or worse than the old one? I can't remember, actually.
It is...
different?
It's different.
Okay, that's fair.
It's less annoying. It's more consistent.
Got it. I mean, consistency is good.
It is. You cannot wound it on anything less than a 4.
Okay.
And it has a 5+ invul.
Got it.
Opposed to the roll lower than the damage to ignore it rule.
Right. Okay.
So you have the same toughness, a few less wounds. You are better in melee, however, it is negligible melee because you have no AP.
Right.
However, you are ballistic skill 4, whereas the Doomsday Arc is ballistic skill 3.
But it degrades.
But it degrades with damage. Also, there are ways to get this thing to 3 using Cryptex.
Yes.
Then the part that really intrigued me. It's not a tank.
No, it's just a monster. It does not have the vehicle keyword.
Yeah, I thought it was a Dreadnought. It's not a tank. So there are stratagems that help enemies hunt tanks. Won't help you here. There are, I think, objectives about tank hunting. They will not help here. It's a monster. Those will still hurt it. But it's not a tank.
Yeah, it's not both. Because they do that sometimes. They make them sometimes both monsters and tanks.
And then the Sentinel Construct rule really struck me. Because at first I thought what it said was, oh, okay, when a unit near me gets charged, I can choose to fire Overwatch.
Right, as if it was the one being charged. But that's not actually what it is.
Well, here's the thing. It is actually that. It's literally that. This model can fire Overwatch at the charging unit.
Without spending the CP, though. Because
it doesn't say can fire Overwatch at the charging unit as if it were a target of that charge. This is in addition to any other units that are firing Overwatch. I read this as it can fire Overwatch, not that it can choose to activate the stratagem to fire Overwatch.
Right, but that it can just do it.
And looking online, that seems to be a number of people's interpretation. So, assuming that is true, you take 3 of these things. Suddenly, if they're not in the front, they're in the back, they're giving charge Overwatch defense.
Yeah.
Against potentially a lot of things.
Which helps you protect your objectives if you're keeping them in your own
It's a psychological tool more than anything as well.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to hit on 6s. You're probably not going to do anything, but that Smash Captain's going to charge in there, and all 3 of the Doomstalkers are within 6 inches of that, blob he's charging.
Right, now they can fire at him.
Yeah, do you want 3d6 strength 10 damage D6 shots. It's only going to take one lucky shot to pop off that character, get through that invul. 6 damage.
I know, right?
It's
no,
gonna
I
cause
don't.
hesitation, maybe.
I think so. I think the Doomstalkers very, very interesting.
If we read that right.
Yes, if we're reading that correctly, that is spicy.
Yeah, and with the 4-up invul save, 12 wounds, he's survivable.
And I like that his ballistic skill doesn't degrade.
Yeah.
Like his melee skill does, his weapon skill does.
And even at 1 wound, his 6-inch movement is pretty quick. So
yeah, no, it's still not bad.
I like the Ghost Arc. I liked the Ghost Arc before. I like it more now.
Good.
Very similar to what it was before. It's just instead of giving a +1 to wound or to resurrection, it allows you to heal D3 warriors around.
Nice.
Yeah, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
We have the Doom Scythe and the Night Scythe, which are still suffering from the fact that they are brittle. And just we don't have
toughness 6 is not great.
and we just do not have a lot of things as the Necrons to do a lot with them. It is nice because we do actually have a flying transport now. Like the Night Scythe is in fact a transport.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to find its transport capacity. Yeah, 20.
Okay, so you can take a big blob. Nice.
Yeah, so you can see, and the nice thing about that is, think about it. You put 20 warriors with that new short range gun in it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
drop them down real close so that they can just.
Yeah, because keep in mind, you're
blast
never
into
going to
people.
really assault, so it's like, and this thing can move, what, 20 to 50 inches?
Yeah, 20 to 50 inches.
So it's like, you put 20 guys into that, if you can guarantee it's not going to die on turn 1, that's spoopy.
That is spoopy.
Like, I'm imagining you bring maybe a Satan, such as the Deceiver.
Yeah.
You've already put 20 warriors into it.
Okay.
One of your 3 units you take off the field is this Night Scythe.
And then you also have your warriors inside.
Yes.
Holy cow.
And you do that, turn 2, it flies in, drops the guys off, and bang.
Dang.
I see ideas here.
There's a lot of fun things that I think you could do.
Alright, not showing you the back page. This. The Lords of War.
Yeah.
They've been buffed. The monolith is tougher now. It has more wounds. It has better weapons. It costs 3 command points to run it in a basic army, and it doesn't get your dynasty rules if you do that. So the reason it doesn't get your dynasty rules, if you don't know, is you don't get those rules if it doesn't count as the correct type of detachment, if it's an auxiliary detachment.
Oh, I was going to say, because it says dynasty
It
there,
doesn't get it unless it is a 3 Lord of War detachment.
That is...
My understanding.
That is unfortunate.
Yes. Otherwise, I would like it. I would like it. I would even consider it potentially worth the 3 command points with everything it can do. But it's just...
Okay, that really seems weird considering they're hyping this new model, they created, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous new mini that people are gonna want.
I theorize it's gonna get something FAQ'd. My belief, it will either go to... I don't think they're gonna do the takes 2 heavy support slots. I think they might give it a refund of command points.
Honestly, I think that'd be fine.
Because if you take this in a, if this is your only monolith and you take it in a super heavy auxiliary detachment,
you get your points refunded or something
or
like
you
that.
get 2 points back or something to get you some of it.
I think that would be better because honestly, it's disappointing because everything that it can do is very cool. It seems very useful. It's just that its points cost isn't even completely outrageous. It's really the CP cost that I find that I have the biggest problem with.
Most of us agree.
Indeed. And then we have the Silent King
himself. He is a long list of rules. He buffs core. He kills things in melee. You get close to him, he's gonna shoot you and you're gonna die. You charge him, that's funny. You're attacking him last, so he's gonna behead you before you even get a chance.
As he should.
If he dies, he explodes like a nuke. He is pretty damn fast. The number of attacks this guy gets are insane.
Oh, I know, right?
6
attacks base.
Well, so he's 6 attacks base, and he's doing that with the Scepter of Eternal Glory.
Yes.
Which makes him strength 9, AP 4, 2 damage. So, but then you also have his 2 dudes who are with him.
Yes, which they have those auras that help buff things.
Yeah,
too,
but so
right?
he also gets 4 attacks at 4 additional attacks at strength 8, AP -4, 3 damage. And then he gets to make 3 additional attacks at strength 5, AP -2.
Damn.
Because all 3 guys on the barge attack.
Oh.
That's what these 2 say.
Oh.
The Scythe of Dust and the Staff of Stars.
Oh my god, I wasn't even
additionally.
considering his guys on the barge. I was considering
Yeah,
his,
read these.
Yeah, no, I read them just now as you were talking over them. I didn't realize, I forgot that those guys were there and that they would actually get attacks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, do not get in melee with him.
I will not. I will keep my demon princes and everything else as far away from him as possible.
Because he will cut you.
I believe it. With
Yeah.
a very, very sharp scythe and scepter
Now,
and staff.
as you kill him, as you take his wounds down, these guys actually turn off.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that is one of the interesting things about him. But when he blows up, he blows up big. And then finally, we have the Convergence of Dominion, the new terrain piece for the Necrons, which looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm very excited to
It's 80 power. It's cheap as hell. And what they basically do is they act as another node for the command protocols. So if you don't have necessarily a noble, you can use it. The problem is, let's say you teleport up the board. Now there's a thing that the enemy can charge and get free. I'm in melee, you can't shoot me.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because it's a structure, so it doesn't have any attacks or anything.
Yeah, so we will maybe see that addressed maybe in the future.
Maybe.
Finally, we have the summaries of the weapon profiles.
Of course.
So short compared to the Space Marine one.
Oh god, right?
Overall points values for those who find that sort of thing important.
Which is most of us.
And then finally, and potentially most importantly, we have these new glossaries that Games Workshop has actually bothered to put into the back of all the codexes.
Which is fantastic.
Which includes both rules for the reference, so we have sort of the basic rules that you need to know, along with all those keywords that are specific to the codex, which is honestly a nice addition. Good job, James.
Indeed. I really like it. I think the Necron Codex is pretty cool. What are your overall feelings towards it? How happy are you as a Necron player who played them actively in 8th edition?
They are not as broken as the Space Marines were in 8th, and so I want a rewrite.
You know what? That's valid. Games Workshop, please get right on that. I expect that no later than tomorrow.
I think it is very much delivered on the promise of being a redesign, to the point of I think they intentionally got away from the old strategies.
I think so as well.
Wraiths got nerfed, Destroyers got nerfed, Silvertide works very differently than it did before.
Absolutely.
So all in all, I'm excited for it. I still don't have a good footing for what I'm going to be doing, but right now my leaning is... right now I'm leaning very middle of the road. I'm like, okay, I want to do some Silvertide. I actually think I want to get that Night Scythe.
Okay.
I think I like the idea of dropping off 20 warriors with like the short range strength 5 guns.
Nice. I think that's great. Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that. I mean, actually, no, I refuse to let you have this. You're not allowed to just transport your warriors up to my guys and drop them off. That's not cool, man.
Excellent. Well, with that revelation of what I am gonna have to pick a new army now, it seems.
Oh, no. You're gonna get your Night Scythe. You'll get your Night Scythe. It'll be fun.
So let us move on to the Space Marines.
All right, now it is time to go ahead and take a look at the Space Marine Codex, and this is a hefty boy. There is a lot.
It really is, because if you compare it,
I mean, there's a lot of factions in this one. You're getting so much more, I guess, because you gotta put a bunch of other stuff in there. They cover a lot of the chapters and all that stuff, so let's just dive right into it. Our Adeptus Astartes.
They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They will be of iron will and steely muscle. In great armor shall I clad them, and with the mightiest guns shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness will blight them. They will have tactics, strategies, and machines, such that no foe can best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. I almost did that perfectly.
You did almost do that. Okay, real quick though, I just want to say I feel like that line and that is specifically calling out Nurgle.
Yes, he is.
And maybe that's why you have Death Guard now, bro.
We have a massive table of contents.
Because oh boy, is there a lot of stuff in here.
Yes, do not expect us to spend a huge amount of time on every page, but we will pause on some of the awesome art.
Look at the art. It's so good.
Look at his Tesla dumbbells.
Indeed.
Every bicep curl charging him with the Emperor's might.
Yes, exactly.
Can't see, those are definitely like dumbbells.
They
Yes,
really
yes,
are.
our cat is very excited.
She is very excited.
You have a way of calming her. Very good. All right. I love this art as well.
I do too. So we've seen these ones a little bit in some of the preview stuff, and I think on like the next page is the other one. No, never mind. There's one in here that has like a couple of like fan art pieces that have kind of become canon, right?
I believe you were thinking about the core rulebook.
Oh, that's right. That's in the core rulebook. You're right.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's talking about the sphere from the Astartes animation.
Yeah, it was in the same style as that previous one.
Yeah,
so
I think the
thought
same
it was
artist made it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But you can, like a lot of new art in this one. I don't know. Maybe some of this is repeat art. I haven't followed the Astartes super closely, but I feel like a lot of this is obviously not new.
No.
But
this is actually one of the old charcoal ones, right? It kind of looks. Or no, that's digital.
No, this one was originally. It's like all painted. It's blue because it's ultramarines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can see because of the.
Yeah. No, I see
on
the
shoulders.
U. That's cool.
The U.
Yes, what is it?
I don't remember what the actual Greek letter for that is.
I thought it was omega.
Is it just no? That's
Isn't that the?
No, it's the other way. That's upside down.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it might just be you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
I have
sure.
no idea. See, this is the stuff that I like. I like when they show you the like close-up detail of some of the like stuff that they just have on them because they end up just having so much crap.
Oh,
on
the
their
detail
armor.
work. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
See the storm shield. Same
Exactly.
thing there.
I do appreciate that they do tend to put a variety of the different chapters and like color palettes in there. Yay, my Crimson Fists.
Ah, yes, all the survivors that are left.
I'm really sad about I feel like their stuff kind of sucks.
They are going into an edition where the focus is on elite armies, not hordes.
And they're literally made to sort of deal with hordes, and I'm just like, why? Which sucks because later on when we're looking at the rules, all of the firstborn sons are like pretty decent now because they've got their 2 wounds and stuff, and the veterans, which is what I actually used to run.
Yeah, because they have jump packs, because you can't get jump packs for assault intercessors.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, and we'll talk about this more when we get to the rules, is I think the price difference between a tactical and an intercessor is like 2 points.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, but for that you get a much better gun, you get an extra attack, you get extra stratagems.
Right.
You know, it's hard to argue with it.
It really is. I also really like when they do this stuff. So the armory section of this book was one of my favorite ones when I was looking through it. Simply because it has a little bit more of like the schematic style thing.
Oh yeah.
With like the tanks and the guns. We have the that one collection of the Eldar like sketch work that they did that GW put out a couple years ago, and I love that kind of stuff.
We should do a review of that book.
We should absolutely do a review of that book. But 100%, I love that kind of stuff. This is like my favorite because it's really just like really subtle, delicate line work to just show depth and just it's so good. I love it.
If I'm slowing down, it's because while she has actually looked at this book, I haven't. So this is actually my first time seeing all of this.
It is a glorious book. I have not gone through everything fully yet because it's dense. I also Hawk Lords, if I ever do an Ultramarine army, are what I'm going to be doing. I don't...
Dude, that is way, way, way too close to the Emperor's Children.
I know.
It is literally an Aquila with pink, purple, and gold. Like, that strikes me as
but I
concerning.
like it. I like it a lot.
Silver Templars. Big fan of those.
Those ones are nice. I actually really like the color palette for these Patriarchs of Ulix.
Ulixis.
Ulixis.
And then we have...
My boys!
Father.
Sort of. Father.
I am reinstalling the palace.
I am reinstalling the palace.
We have the best boys.
I mean, they are. They are pretty good boys. The white scars. Yay.
Oh, no. Why are you pointing at the buggy? You like the ATV?
I don't, but I was more just pointing at the schematics.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the same.
We're going to talk about the ATVs.
We will. That's a glorious drawing.
That's the Dark Angel Chapter Master,
yep.
I think.
I think so as well.
The old box art from the 6th edition starter box, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Back when I tried to get you back into the game.
Back into the game. Man, that time it was not a thing for me, unfortunately. The war zones.
Yes.
Where everybody is fighting.
Kung fu fighting, one could say.
I mean...
We have the Space Wolves with their quasi-screwed-up scout lore.
Oh yeah, that is a little bit interesting.
Well, they have a Codex update coming.
They do, they do.
I really like
the Combi Flamer?
That skin thing they did.
I actually really, really like the Salamanders a lot. I've seen also some really cool bits for being able to do alternative like shoulder pads and cloaks for them from a couple of different like companies. Like Cromlech, I think, is one of them.
Oh, the Death Watch banners.
Oh, those are glorious.
I hadn't seen those.
I hadn't either. I don't think I remember looking at this page. I must have accidentally skipped it.
Yeah, so they're rolling the Death Watch into this codex with a supplement.
Yes.
Similar to all. Basically, they're trying to get away from, I think, having so many books for the Marine players.
Which is weird, because I feel like we're still going to have a lot of books.
I mean,
my god.
Hammers of Dorn, I hadn't seen that before.
I love that. They're so Halloween.
That's a color scheme worth remembering.
Yes, it is. It's black and orange.
Yeah.
It'll be very easy to remember. I actually also like the Sons of the Phoenix.
I have always liked the Sons of the Phoenix. Although, once again, called Sons of the Phoenix, a little too Phoenician.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Just saying, little Emperor's Children.
Little Emperor's Children.
If you want to be very modern military, the Raptors are cool.
They are, actually. I really like the...
Yeah, they're definitely going more and more into these triptych patterns.
I actually like that. I don't mind the...
Look at the bugs!
Oh my god. Mantis Warriors! Oh, they're so cute. I like the Black Vipers.
Yeah.
And also the Dragon Spears. That's
God. Anyone who manages to pull off like the 50-50 paint jobs, though...
I don't know how people... I mean, I assume they're...
Time.
I assume they're masking. Is actually what they're probably doing.
The foundings. That was insensitive. Okay.
The Blood Ravens, you mean?
Yeah, they're definitely Magnuses.
That's fair. They're very shiny.
The Minotaurs?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like Runelord Brass would be really good for
Oh,
them,
it really
right?
would, yeah, with that red. Actually, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Good call out for terrain.
Yes.
Bit of fluff for you out there who likes that sort of thing. I think the focus is doing all right for you.
I think so.
And if it isn't, well, too bad. I'm not redoing it.
And also, the book is out and available now, so you can definitely go and pick it up and read it for yourself. There's a lot of like cool, fluffy things in here.
And here we have the actual guide for all the iconography. So there's your 10th companies. Here's how you mark your helmets.
This is nice. I do like that they give you this for like painting guides and
for
everything.
the Ultramarines.
For the Ultramarines, yeah. I mean, I think they do it
and
for...
And there's your...
my Sons of Dorn.
Yeah, I think most of the Codex chapters still adhere to it relatively.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
And see, that's how you mark it on vehicles. If you've ever seen that, that's what that means.
Nice. I have never, like, that is one thing that I've never done with any of my, like, Space Marine armies, is I've never really gone heavy on the iconography. For the Hobby Knights, I actually, like, if we end up using them in, like, Crusade, I kind of want to... I want to build them up to that as they, like, level. I kind of want to treat it almost very RPG with that army, in a sense, and I'm very excited for it, because they definitely, with what I was looking through of the Crusade stuff in here, they're definitely kind of setting it up for that.
Absolutely, and that's definitely. I like those shoulders.
Those are very nice shoulders.
Yeah, definitely setting it up to give you an excuse to make that force that isn't necessarily competitive, but it's like.
But you want to run all your.
But it's got one transport and a battle tank and a small squad of bikes, and it's cool.
It's cool, and you want to, and you're like, I want my, or you want your very specific elite force of
bunker.
like named characters or something, along with like something fluffy to go with them. It allows you to do that, and I'm excited for that.
All right, that is it for the art and the fluff sections. Next up, the rules.
All right, next up is the rules. And there's a lot. There's a lot of rules.
Oh dear God, is there? I mean, yeah, I think there is about 100 pages of rules.
Well, there are a lot of, to be fair, Space Marines have the broadest line of miniatures.
Oh, there are
so
many data sheets.
So many data sheets.
And they split a lot of data sheets up. So we have the new chapter tactics. We are not going to walk through all of them.
Although I'm sad. I'm sad.
It's not even sad. I mean, that's kind of that's the exact same as it was before.
It is, but it doesn't mean anything anymore because 9th edition is so anti-horde that everything that they can do is just, it's like, eh.
Now, at the time of recording, some of these chapters are a little messed up. In particular, I think Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angel, like the guys who are getting supplements.
Yeah, I do
because I think they lost some stuff that did exist in their old codex.
Yes.
So we're just.
We're
like a month or two out from that, so chances are it will be fine.
Yes, exactly. So I'm not super worried about them. I think they're going to be fine. We just have to wait a little bit longer for their books. It shouldn't be that much longer.
So we have the build your own chapters rules.
Indeed.
We have the new upgrade system for all of the characters. So if you're not familiar with what this is, so before this, if you wanted to upgrade your chaplain to a master of sanctity, or if you wanted to upgrade your apothecary to like a chief apothecary, then you would have to spend command points. They've stepped away from that, and instead you actually spend just normal points the old way.
Which I like. I think it's better.
I think it's better.
I don't think you should be having to spend command points. There's plenty of other things for you to want to spend command points on. I think it's just better for it to be a points cost.
I do feel like they're going in the direction, and not universally, but with the new codexes, that command points are meant to be those one-off events.
Yeah.
Opposed to these 2 command points are going to make this army 50% better.
Right. The one exception to that would be maybe like being able to give the additional like warlord trait or like relic, maybe, because those are still command point costs,
some
right?
of those yes, but those are still, when it comes to like relics and such, I still feel like we're moving into the direction of less powerful relics.
They are.
And
they are
so
definitely less powerful.
I while it's not universally going to be one-offs, I just think they are trying to make the game less about, well, he has the best stratagems and was able to get the most command points for his army, so
exactly.
he wins.
They
They're
are
just
definitely
avoiding that.
Yeah, no, they want to try to make it so that you intentionally mix and match and do more stuff.
Okay, so we will talk about what is seen as one of the most broken things in the book.
Yep.
The Chief Apothecary. Each time, this warlord trait, is selected to return a destroyed model to a unit by using the Combat Revive stratagem. If you don't know, it means pick a core unit that's lost a model,
Bring them back.
Return 1 model at full wounds.
Yep.
You can do it for free. So basically, the Chief Apothecary can return 1 model back to a unit at full health for free every round. That are core units. That's very important. We will come back to that later. All right. It's gonna get eroded. It's gonna get eroded.
I really think it will.
We have the stratagems.
The one that I think is very, and I know this has been pointed out already, but this is the one that struck me as like the weirdest thing. Transhuman physiology now is only affects Primaris.
Well, see, it says Space Marines can fight through even the most grievous wounds, but the sentence right after that they forgot to say, except for the old ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for your firstborn.
Yeah. Except for the Space Marines who have been doing this longer, they're kind of wusses.
Yeah, they're kind of wusses.
Yeah.
That one, I don't understand.
Have you seen the new ones? They're taller.
They are taller.
Yeah.
They are handsome like taller boys.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're taller, that does by definition make them more handsome, I think, in Warhammer.
It's true. The bigger and taller that you are, the more handsome you are. Look at the Emperor.
Look at orcs.
Look at orcs.
Yeah, that's true. The Emperor is the tallest human to ever live.
He is.
I think that is actually canon.
That's fair.
I'm trying to think of how a human that wasn't like experimented on or warp tainted would have ever been taller than the Emperor.
I don't think that's possible.
Because I don't think any of
that's
the Primarchs.
heresy.
I don't think any of the Primarchs were taller than him.
I would certainly hope not.
I mean, there were some tall Primarchs, but I don't think so.
Tell us in the comments if you know if there were any Primarchs taller than the Emperor.
Yes, and once again, humans that became taller because they got like warp infused or something is not what I mean.
Yes.
All right. Lots of stratagems. We have lots of warlord traits, including the chapter-specific ones.
Yep. We've got our relics. Lots of good stuff in there.
It's a lot of either modified or basically clones from 8th edition.
Yeah, basically. You got your disciplines for the various like librarians, your litanies.
Yes, now we only have... Now, I think that might be one of the things that was lost. I think the big problem, and I'm remembering this off memory, as you would,
I understood what you meant.
Yes. Is that I think like specific psychic powers and litanies for the chapters got removed.
Yes, I don't think we know like for example like stratagems. For example, I don't think we know like what the Blood Angels like chief librarians like or the librarians specific litanies are going to be or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Mephiston can currently cast his powers or not.
Right, which is a problem, but
it'll get fixed.
And
I could be completely wrong about what.
Yeah, we might be misremembering what's exactly like off, but we know something is like not correct yet. But they have a supplement coming; it'll be fine.
So we have the first set of secondary objectives for the game.
Yes.
So the one that I think is very interesting is. Actually, both of these, I think, are very interesting.
The no mercy, no respite in battle, field supremacy.
If you select this objective, you score victory points at the end of each battle round for achieving the following 3 oaths. Score 1 victory point for any character, vehicle, or monster unit that was destroyed. Oath of Honor. Score 1 point at the end of the battle, so long as no Astartes units from your army failed a morale test. That's not going to be hard.
No, that one, when I read this section and I saw that one, I was like, I feel like that is just a guaranteed
It is. Now keep
points.
reading, provided no units fell back. So you can't fall back in that round either, but still, that's still pretty easy.
Yeah, that's still not hard.
Score 2 victory points at the end of the battle round if a unit from your army is wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. No requirements for the enemy not to be there.
Yeah, so it's just if they're in the center.
So this is just...
good.
Yeah.
It's just a good objective.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, and then we have basically Codex warfare, which allows you to get points for killing things with heavy weapons.
Yep.
Killing things with rapid fire weapons, and killing things with assault. This one's a little more specific because it's tied to each, what are they called, doctrines?
Yeah, doctrines.
Yeah. Like this one I think is just more easy.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see this one a lot more.
But if you're really good, and you're really good with your timing, this might actually be very powerful. And then finally, score 3 victory points at the end of the battle round if you control 1 or more objective markers than your opponent.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have a weird battle where there's objectives, but like holding them isn't necessarily the best thing in the world.
Right.
Well, as a Space Marine, you can still leverage it.
Exactly.
Which is useful, I think.
Absolutely.
We get into their Crusade rules. As we can see, these guys are all going to die because the Bieltan are about to destroy them.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Bieltan are heavily outnumbered there.
Listen, you don't know what's happening behind those Guardians.
I don't.
There's an entire army of Aspect Warriors about to, like, rip them apart. It's Bieltan. They wouldn't be there otherwise.
You know what? You're right. That's true. There would be a whole army of Aspect Warriors behind them.
The honorifics. So these are the titles you can give to your characters after they achieve things.
Which is very cool. Like I said, the thing that is very neat to this is that it feels very RPG-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And I like having that combination. One of the, I really like Kingdom Death Monster for the fact that it does combat, like arena combat style stuff, but then it also has your village building. This sort of gives me that experience with the arena combat, with, you know, doing the battles and everything for Crusade, but then on the back end, you're like leveling up your characters and treating it like it's an RPG, and I don't know. It's really cool. I'm very excited. I can't wait for my Death Guard book to come out so that I can like really look at like what I can do with them in Crusade. And I can't wait to like look through, because I haven't looked through the Necron Codex super thoroughly yet. I want to look through all your Necron like Crusade stuff and see what you can do.
No, absolutely. It's going to be very cool. I was looking at these legendary relics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are... I love the way they're working some of them in. So the Relic of the Primarch, it's a buff for the guy who has it. But if he drops during the battle, where he dropped becomes an objective marker because you need to get the thing back.
Yes.
Which I
no,
like.
that was cool. There's a lot of little fluffy things in the rules like that.
If you control the Relic of the Primarch at the end of the battle, you can select one unit that is within 3 inches. If you do not control at the end of the battle, you lose 10 victory points.
Oh, that's rough. I had missed
Well,
that.
you dropped something that belonged to,
yeah,
Dorn.
exactly.
You dropped
No,
Dorn's sock.
Father, no. His saw.
His sock.
Oh, his sock.
Don't be ridiculous. He's not... Well, he is a builder.
Well, that's why I was like, oh, did I take his like blade saw from his workshop?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine tools from Dorn's workshop are quite the holy to the chapter.
Exactly.
We can see this is just going over all the different rules that they may have, including different deployment types, because Marines. And so begins the
all
data
of the
sheets.
data sheets. So many.
So many captains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 captains.
7.
7. The holy number.
The holy
the
number.
Blessed number.
The blessed number?
We have 1 lieutenant, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, that's a librarian.
Nope, it's a librarian.
So
okay.
4 lieutenants.
Why do we have 20 minis for only 4 data sheets?
Because they are really wanting you to just kit bash with those multi-kit models.
It's just because they separated the armor profiles.
It is. Because they have to have all of the variations.
All of the Skull Boys.
I will say the chaplains are my favorites.
Oh, there's a little servitor.
Aw.
He's adorable.
He is adorable.
Yep.
No one runs that.
No one.
I don't even know if I've seen that many before.
I have, but it's been
like
a long
in person?
time. Yes.
Okay.
I think they were used in like 3rd and 4th edition.
Okay, that's fair. Were they better then? And then what I imagine
They were more useful. I mean, we didn't have heavy intercessors.
That's true.
As a troop choice.
Yeah.
I mean, they're expensive for what you get, but...
They are, but still.
Yeah.
Their core, their infantry, they just get everything.
Heavy rifles.
Yep.
So many troops. And then we begin the slow descent into madness that is the elites.
No, these are, the elites, the scout squads.
They are.
Oh my god, you're right. They
are an elite.
I forgot they made them elites.
Like, you're laughing, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, I completely forgot that they had made them elites.
They had to get them out of troops.
Why do they not put them into fast attack? They're scouts.
That's a wonderful question.
Like, genuinely, they're scouts. Of all things, I would be like, wouldn't they be fast
They just
attack?
really don't want you to take them because there's so few elite slots for what the Marines can run.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Because think about it, they have characters they want to put into elites, so it's to make you not take them, I guess.
So, do you think, like, whenever the next edition comes in, scouts are just gonna be gone?
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Space Wolf players.
Yeah, right. Well, it's just their wolf scouts are different.
I know. But
Yeah, so we have the apothecaries.
Yep, your ancients.
The Blade God veterans, who are good. The problem is they don't really have a great way of getting there.
Because they can't go into the transports, right?
I'm checking, actually. No, they can.
Okay, cool. I know some things sometimes can't go into the transports. Is it the Gravis armor stuff?
Yeah, and I'm just checking. Yeah, they are not wearing Gravis armor.
No.
So they could actually get in transports.
Okay, cool.
So that does help.
Good.
Okay. However, we have the Veteran Intercessor Squad, but these guys, so these are the guys I was making sure. Yeah, I think they can get in transport.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, so that's not too bad, because you get 3 of them for about 100 points. They are not exactly 100 points, I'm just basing off their power level. So that's okay. I still feel like you're probably going to get more return on assault intercessors.
Right, then the blade.
Because you're going to get 5 assault intercessors for about the same amount of points.
Right.
But these guys are a lot more survivable.
Yeah.
What with the invul save and the 3 wounds versus the 2.
Right, exactly.
So maybe on your scenario, especially in Crusade,
yeah,
they'll chop stuff.
No, the Crusade I think is definitely where you could have fun with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have fun with them in
These
patch, obviously.
guys, I've already heard a lot of theories being thrown around about.
Oh yeah, no, I had too. I had seen a little bit about this. This is why I was sad that the Crimson Fist's like actual chapter tactic kind of sucked because
No, but Blood Angel ones are gonna get nasty.
oh, I'm scared if you run Blood Angels again, honestly. I didn't like it back in the day because they were scary. I don't know if I'm going to like them now because I feel like they're going to be scary. But I used to run
Veterans.
I think it was I used to run veterans.
You ran Sternguard.
Yeah, I did run these guys because I wanted the shooting and not the melee.
Yeah, back when we used to use drop pods.
But back when I used to run drop pods, and I was like, oh, because when I saw that the veterans were doing better and everything, and that they had the 2 wounds now, I was like, oh, maybe I can actually run my old list or something, like, and try it out just for like shenanigans. And yeah,
Because the advantage these guys are getting, they're core.
Yep.
So they'll get the buffs, same
Yep.
to Assault Intercessors, and I think Assault Marines have core as well. But they're 4 attacks on the charge.
Yep.
Because 2 base, plus a chainsword, plus the charge because they're that.
Yep.
You then make them Blood Angels, they're going to get 5 attacks on the charge.
Crazy.
And you go, well, yeah, but you can do the same thing with the Primaris. Yes, but these guys have a jump pack.
Yep.
And so, that's different because then it's like 12-inch movement, jumping over terrain.
Yep.
Fly keyword, not as good as it used to be, but still, I'm seeing potential returns of Assault Marines.
Which is great.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is
I'm
weird.
totally. Well, it's nice. It is nice that GW actually is like, here
Crusade.
you go. You can actually. Oh, I know, right? Definitely a Crusade unit. Here you go. You can use all of those old minis that you've been collecting for like 20 plus years or whatever. It's 20 or 30 years. How old is this game now?
Over 30.
Yeah. So like, all of those minis that we've been coming out forever, you can still use them.
Reavers, you still exist. Your combat knives are still not great.
Yep.
I still don't entirely understand your usefulness. Aggressors, you guys still core,
Yep.
which actually surprised me.
Oh, really? Did you expect them to?
Dude,
not?
why is everything in the Space Marine Codex core?
I don't know. The fact that like dreadnoughts are. I mean, I don't.
Oh, we haven't even started to talk about dreadnoughts yet.
Yeah. No, we'll get there. But like.
Terminators are core. Relic Terminators are core. Why are Relic Terminators core? We run into, Centurions are not core. So we will not be seeing Centurions anymore. No more,
Yeah, I heard that Centurions were one of the things that people were kind of upset had gotten relatively nerfed, mostly because of... Is it mostly because of the core
I
thing?
think so, because
Okay.
they can't get most of the buffs from the auras or certain stratagems now.
That makes sense.
But, listen, it's not, fluff-wise, I get it. Everything in the Space Marine arsenal is part of their core army. It's just... I'm a Necron player. I'm a little bitter that Dreadnaughts and Terminators get core, but my Destroyers don't.
Yeah, I actually don't understand why the destroyers aren't. I'm like,
Well,
I feel
narratively they aren't because they are outcasts. They are insane, and basically the Pharaon is like, send them first, and maybe they won't come back this time.
I see.
So they have that going for them, but when I see that Terminators and Dreadnaughts and these relic Terminators are getting core, I go, okay, how is that?
I honestly, I very much agree. I wouldn't
Bitter
mind...
Xeno player noises.
many bitter Xeno player noises. It'll be interesting to see what my Chaos Boys get.
True. All right, Dreadnaughts. May we be the first to welcome and praise our new Dreadnought meta overlords. I am terrified of these things now.
I can't wait to paint some up for the Hobby Knight colors.
Oh, I am terrified. Mainly because they're all cores.
I know, that is insane to me.
So they all still get that, but they all have Duty Eternal.
Yeah, which is also insane to me.
Each time an attack is allocated to this model, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic to a minimum of 1. all of them have it.
All of them.
Ow.
So all of them have that and get all of the benefits any stratagem that applies to a core unit gets. Like, you get all of those benefits. I mean, I get it. To be fair, to be perfectly honest, if you asked me what's an iconic thing that I know from a Space Marine army, I would say a Dreadnought. I'd be like, the Dreadnought. So, like, I understand, but gosh darn it. I want...
Macroplasma is great for this sucker. Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
I want my Blight Haulers to be core. I know they're not going to be because they're demon engines.
Yep.
But I'm like, they're a Dreadnought.
So core. Outriders are, of course, core.
Yes. Okay. This is the thing that...
The Invader ATV. So let me get the stratagem in particular that is causing the concern right now.
It's the stratagem combined with the Chief Apothecary.
Yes.
Because holy cow.
So the Chief Apothecary has that rule that says they can return units to the field, right?
Without spending the CP.
Yes, for basically a points upgrade at the beginning of the game. And I'm just going to find it very quickly. Combat Revival. Use a stratagem at the end of the movement phase. Select one chapter apothecary unit from your army, and then select one friendly infantry or biker unit. Not even core.
Just
infantry or biker. That is not at its starting strength, aka its lost models, and is within 3 inches of the apothecary. One of the selected unit's destroyed models is returned to the unit with its full wounds remaining. Keep in mind that you as a player can buy an apothecary and then upgrade it for... I don't know what...
I think it's that way.
Apologies.
It's like one of the first things that they go over.
Here it is. Yep, so Chief Apothecary is 15 points.
So for 15 points, you can upgrade your Chief Librarian.
Your Apothecary.
Your Apothecary to a Chief Apothecary.
Yep. And then now the Outriders, their bikes, you could return them with their 4 wounds back to the table. Or an 8 wound ATV because it's a biker.
Which blows my mind. I'm like, why
For free.
For free. It's insane. We're gonna see.
No, we are not going to see a lot.
No,
of
because
this.
People hate these models.
People are torn over these models. I think they're cute, but I do agree. I'm not sure it really fits.
Yeah.
But I think it's cute. I want to do one up as a Mario and Luigi.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, because Mario Kart, like Mario, they should release rules for Mario Kart, like tabletop, and then I'll forgive it. But it's just. Like, one of these things is like 80 to 90 points. I think it's literally 85 points, don't quote me. So every turn, he can just summon back an 85-point model.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that is just so powerful. Powerful.
The thing has a 24-inch gun. It's not like the thing actually has to get that far away from your own deployment zone to be laying down fire.
Right.
So the Apothecary can follow it.
Yeah. He absolutely can.
So...
No, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna,
I'm wondering if we're gonna see it be something like... So, I don't think GW necessarily wants to get rid of it completely, because obviously they want you to be able to revive Outriders and such.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what they'll do is they'll make the Chief Apothecary... The stratagem costs 1 less to use. Mm-hmm. And if you use it on a keyword biker unit, this stratagem costs 3. So basically, you want to bring back an Invader ATV? You can, but for 2 CP, because I'm sorry, 8 wounds?
No, that's crazy. The only other thing that I could suggest, because
that way he could bring back, like, an infantry guy for free.
Yeah.
Every turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a discounted to bring back an 8 wound toughness 5 Gatling gun.
Yeah. The thing that, confuses me is this is not a bike to me. At all. Like, I don't understand this keyword. This should be a vehicle. It's a vehicle.
Well, a bike is technically a vehicle.
I know, but
context,
it is, but this is not a remotely a bike.
Because to you, a bike has to be 2-wheeled?
No, it can still be, because you have motorcycles that you can put the side wheels on and everything, but it's a buggy, which is not a bike to me. That is, it's more like a Jeep or like an open-topped...
It's a go-kart.
It's a go-kart.
I wouldn't call a go-kart a bike.
I would not call a go-kart a bike, and it is a go-kart to me.
Now there might be, maybe somebody out there is like a specialist when it comes to like
Oh yeah, no, I
bikes
mean
and
like
go-karts or something.
and maybe
they're
they
like,
are, maybe
actually,
they are.
under the U.S. government's definition and the DMV's definition of what a bike is.
That shouldn't matter. They're British.
Under the British Department of Motor Vehicles.
There you go, maybe. I don't know, but it seems very strange.
Everything is core. Everything is core.
You're not
okay,
wrong.
the vehicles aren't at least.
No, which did upset people because now, what is it? The
The Iron Hands.
There's a particular vehicle that is like.
Oh yeah,
that
big
Dorn's
tank.
like people like to run.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Eradicators and okay.
Yeah,
we will talk about eradicators very briefly. They are insane.
Yeah, I was like, they're real good.
They are too good for their points, their wounds, their toughness. They just land on the field, point at something, it's deleted. They can normally survive enough firepower to do it again. And their core. The core thing I don't know if it's going to hold on.
Yeah,
Because giving them buffs is just so insane with the frickin' strength 8 rifles.
I know. It's crazy. They're so strong.
So strong.
So strong.
Devastators, good to see them back. Might still be seeing Devastators with grav cannons.
The other thing that I also used to run. Because remember, I used to have a Devastator squad as
oh
well.
God, yeah, I have like 4.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I have my old Devastator squad in, that pile.
I think some of these units are falling into that crusade.
Yes.
Like, turrets?
Yes. I completely agree.
Yeah, like, I feel like this is here for narrative reasons.
I agree.
Because it's like, GW's like, we want to start including, like, defensive emplacements and such in rules that people will actually use. And that means putting them in codexes.
Yep.
But they don't intend people to use them for matched play.
No,
but they're still there, so it's like if you're running a narrative game and you want to have, like, 10 turrets,
yeah, because you're
have the rules.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's fine. I actually think it makes these books feel super overwhelming because you don't really have the separation of like, these were sort of designed for Crusade and these ones were designed for match play. But I do think that is fine that you have opportunities for both.
Yeah, these tanks, because they don't have core and therefore don't receive a lot of the reroll buffs, have become much, much less reliable, Land Raiders included.
Yep.
Land Raiders just have the problem that they're just so expensive.
Yeah, they're really pricey still, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're still Masters of None. It's like, maybe if they made him a Lord of War.
No! Could we please make the monolith not one? It'd be very, very convenient.
Yep, the Repulsor, which that's...
They just have so many tanks.
They
just have so many units in general.
So many kids. I mean, the number of transports alone.
I know.
Oh, look, there's a drop pod.
Yay!
Why would you need to do this? I'm just seeing, like, did they change this in any way that made it good? This transport must start the battle set up high in the skies, but neither it nor any units embarked within it are counted towards any limits that the mission you are playing places on the maximum number of reinforcements units that you can have in your army. This transport can be set up in the reinforcement step of your first, second, or third movement phase, regardless of any mission rules. Any units embarked within this transport must immediately disembark after it has set up on the battlefield, and they must set up more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. Okay, yeah, so it's what it was after the last update.
Okay.
I like the fact that it gets to circumvent reinforcement limits.
Yeah, no, that is nice.
So that does make me go, so could you theoretically have your entire army off the board then with drop pods? I guess you could.
As long as it could fit in the drop pod, because it does have limitations. You can't put jump packs, Terminators, Primaris, Wolfen, or Centurions in it.
True, but well, here's the thing. Terminators, they could teleport in.
Yep.
So you don't care about those. Jump pack, do the exact same thing.
Yep.
There are probably some ways to bring in Primaris, Wolfen, and Centurions. I know Wolfen can be put into flying transports.
Okay.
So that could keep them off the table. Primaris, okay.
Yeah.
But that would be a cool way. It's like, if you have an old Firstborn army.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, okay, turn 1, end of your movement phase, just 10 drop pods fall down, the army deploys.
That would be so cool.
It's very fluffy.
It is very fluffy.
You got the flying space potatoes.
Yay, flying space potatoes.
A multitude of flavors. And we have
Which one do we have?
We have the Storm Raven,
The Storm
which is
Raven.
not a potato.
No, I know it's not.
It's a flying box.
Yeah, no, it's a flying box. But sorry, we were looking at the flyers, and I was like, we have that vehicle. So which one was it?
And then finally, we have sort of an odd entry. We have the bunker.
Oh yes.
So, read the fluff. Hammerfell bunkers are launched from the Space Marine warships in the same manner as drop pods.
Okay.
However, it does not have the rules for that. It just deploys in your own deployment zone like a bunker.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, it's really good if you could, because it basically, if you get near it, it spits out a hell of a lot of death.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably why they don't let you deploy it like a drop pod.
I'm just saying, why did you give it the fluff then that it deploys like a drop pod?
Well, they're just like, guys, it just drops down like a drop pod. It's not actually a drop pod. We just made the generalized comparison. Maybe that's all it is. Like, I imagine that's what it is, but
Yeah.
that is very silly. Like, that
the
is
writer
misleading.
didn't know. The writer didn't know.
It's probably what it is, yes. And now we have, of course, since we're done with the data sheets, all of the weapon profiles for you.
All of the weapon
All
profiles.
of them.
As I must not show you the back page of this book.
Indeed. Good lord.
There are many weapons.
Did you want all of your war gear?
Hey, at least it's all in one place. It's together and easily accessible.
I will give them that. I do very much like the layout of these books. They are just easier to flip through.
Right?
And then, of course, points values.
Let you guys do with this what you need. And we are almost there. I will not show you.
Here, I'll keep
The final page will not be revealed.
haha.
Maybe that'll be a giveaway someday.
Yeah,
Start
there you
giving
go.
away the codes from Codexes.
There you go.
And the final reference. Well, Angela, what do you think?
I am pretty excited for 9th edition still. Looking through these codexes, seeing what things have changed. Nothing feels, I mean, there's a couple of things, especially in here, that maybe feel a little broken, but nothing feels 8th edition Space Marine Codex broken.
Yeah, we're trying to rein things in. I think with an FAQ.
A couple of things can be tweaked a little bit more and balanced a bit better.
Yep.
Honestly, like, I'm excited. I am super hyped for whenever my Death Guard Codex comes out, or it's not a supplement, it's a Codex. When my Death Guard Codex comes out, because these make me excited for that book. And I just really want to see what changes have occurred and actually start looking at building a crusade list. Because I know you want to start looking at building like your Necron crusade list as soon as my Codex comes out. Like, that is the thing that I want to work on the most. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this. How did you like?
Oh, it was great. So the Necron, I already looked through the Necron book before this, admittedly, and I'm very excited to play them.
Oh yeah.
The truth be told, if you were expecting to play the same way in 9th as you did in 8th, but more powerfully, you're not getting that as Necrons. You will be playing in a different style, I think, in most cases. If you're doing Silver Tide or something before, you'll very well be served, though. The Space Marine book was awesome. I hadn't actually gotten a chance to look at all yet.
Mm-hmm. I kind of poured over this one a little bit more than you did.
And I already knew about most of the data sheet stuff, so honestly I was mostly impressed by just the fluff and art layouts.
Oh yeah, no, the book, like, with all the fluff and everything that they put in there and all of the art, like, they've nailed it. It's great.
I have one question.
Yeah.
What's with the Inquisitional reference numbers?
I was actually also wondering that. I don't know.
I'm wondering if that's so, like, if people, like, leaked the books early, they knew where they came from.
Oh, possibly, yes.
I'm just wondering, since these were, like, day one releases, I'm wondering if the purpose of this was to, like, track leaks.
That is entirely possible. Interesting that this one has it twice and the Space Marine one doesn't.
Yeah, I noticed that. If you have any idea what that's about, let us know.
But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed reviewing these two books with us. Definitely let us know down in the comments what you guys thought, what you're most excited for, which of the Space Marine chapters and or Necron dynasties do you plan on running if you run those factions. And we will see you guys on Monday for a brand new painting video. I am very excited for it, so I'll see you guys then.
Bye, guys.